What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Josh and Brandy Helm here, and we are excited to show you guys the Trinity Valley Barndominium. It's always exciting when you can be finishing a project. This one here has so many, I guess you'd say, upgrades. There's just a lot of add-ons and things like that. So on the exterior, we have a Galvalume roof, and then we have burnished slate trim. On our walls, we have a M-lock, which is a little bit different profile. Still has the same gauge thickness as a standard panel. I don't think you're seeing a lot of big upgrades on the cost for that, but it just changes the profile a little bit. And this is a light stone, is the color we're using on the wall panels. And you'll see that we do have the smoke looter stone, which we're using. And stone, I guess, is a big part of some of the upgrades on this build, because you have a complete continuous stone wall going up on the front, as well as some wainscoting that we're doing on the bottom portion on the wings, which really adds to the look. It's a beautiful display. This stone, I tell you what, is a big part of a project. It's quite a process to go through it, but you know, when this all started coming together, we knew this was going to be one beautiful barndominium. Another thing that we're using is the smooth water table that goes and caps off all of this stone, and that was a bit of challenge to be able to tie all this together as it wraps around up on the upper areas. We do have a fireplace, which has a conventional look to it, and a stack with a cap on the top, which is matching the rest of the roof on this build. Another thing, we'll get into the details later, of course, is the porch space, but the covered deck that we have on the back of this build, which is beautiful, has so much to offer, with a travertine finish, as well as some of the cattle paneled look on the outside for the railing.
Yeah, I think the back porch is my favorite part. That deck overlooking the pond. It's a spring-fed pond, and it's beautiful. It's clear. You can see straight to the bottom, and it's really pretty. It's a great view.
Yeah, it's a great asset to any property, is when you can add that water feature. And this property as well has elevation to it, which is also an attractive part of the build on this. Anyways, that's enough about the exterior. We hope that you guys enjoy the inside. Let's get it going. All right, this is it. This is the inside of this beautiful barndo.
So this is the great room. This is the living room. We've got a lot of wide open space here. You could do all kinds of things in this room. All the walls are natural linen. They did a clear stain on the concrete floors. So there's a lot of natural elements in this room.
A lot of what I think works real well when you have a lot of that is like you're bringing some of that natural from the outside inside, which is what is always great about a fireplace. Here we have that same matching looter stone and the smoke stone. And then we have a cedar accent on the mantelpiece. This wide open area, it gives you a lot of options, like you said, to really space this out however you want to with furniture and however you're going to set up your living space. But there's a lot of natural light connecting you from the front of the house to the back. And we have some beautiful triple pane windows that are an upgrade as well through this house. That's a big part of what we're doing on this build, is the windows. I think we're a big upgrade.
Right, because that's the one thing you want to see when you come in this room. You want to see the outside, the beautiful pond, the beautiful landscape, and you can see all that from inside here.
Yeah, and so with the stained concrete throughout, or I guess it's just a clear stain is what we've got.
It's a clear coat.
But adding to that is the clear coated natural stained cabinets and beautiful display of cabinets that we got here for this kitchen space.
Well, these are an upgrade too, because they did a white oak. So that's an upgraded wood. And so they actually just did the clear coat on it instead of trying to stain it any type of a color.
And so we have 10-foot ceilings in here, which gives us a little bit higher cabinets. We do take the cabinets all the way up, which we have the lit upper cabinets, giving those options for decorative purposes or just using for conventional storage. But now this, what is this for?
Well, this is, to me, is going to be kind of like a buffet area. You could definitely set up your, your food for events or whatever. Or even have like a little coffee bar type thing over here.
Yeah, your Thanksgiving spread. Get in line down the hallway because this is where you're going to come get all your stuff and work it all the way around. This is a beautiful quartz countertop.
Yes, it's actually a white jasmine quartz. It's pretty much solid white. There's just some grays in it.
This is pretty neat, you know, when we can add the quartz window sill that we've got there. And I like this, I don't know what you would call this. This is like a travertine almost for your tile, or a marble. This is a marble is what this is, a kind of a brick lay 3x8 or 3x6 marble tile is what we got going on there. And it kind of has more of a flat look to it, but a really nice soft appeal, I think, to this display. And on here, would you call this the pantry, or
well,
what
so
do you call
this is
this?
actually for like a cleaning closet. So they're gonna have, there's actually electrical plugs and things like that to like maybe plug in your little mops or brooms or whatever that you have for cleaning. They've got all their stuff that they plan on putting in there.
Let's show them the rest of the kitchen.
So we have a beautiful island here. Of course, it's got the same quartz. It's a pretty
Good size. This is 10 foot long. About 4 foot as far as the countertop. Of course, you have your conventional cabinet space, but we do have additional storage on this side of it. So a little bit shorter cabinet for the depth, but about a standard 12-inch depth on that side. So you got a little bit more cabinets here than you might realize, but they wanted to do that because they were eliminating some of their uppers because of the windows that we're incorporating into this kitchen.
So we've got the drop-in stainless steel sink. It's got the 2 tubs in it.
This is really nice. I like the accents with this kind of copper tone for the bronze faucet.
It matches all the hardware on the kitchen.
This is really like heavy duty, you know, as far as the texture of it and all that. It really feels more substantial than some of the other faucets, but it's really nice. And then our refrigerator cabinet, which is kind of caps off the end of this setup.
Lots of storage above.
Of course, we got the cooktop here. This is a 5 burner.
So this is an option that you don't really think about till you're picking out appliances, but this is a drop-in cooktop. So there's not the stove underneath. They actually have the drawers. So this is great for storing like your pans and things.
Seems to be a really popular option. A lot of people are trying to have the drawer space in their kitchens as opposed to just standard doors.
Well, you can access so much. You can pull the whole thing out and access things at the back versus, you know, things that kind of get lost in your cabinets behind because you can't see past what's in front.
So this is really nice and plenty of little, you know, prep area. Speaking of prep area, of course, we'll show you guys this double oven action we have, but we have, I don't know which one's the prep sink versus the other, but we also have another sink in this kitchen. So there's 2 sinks, his and hers, you know, or, you know, whoever you're gonna have working one sink and somebody working the next one. I'm thinking this is just a great prep sink here as you're chopping your fruits, vegetables, all that kind of stuff. But this is where our pantry is.
So this is a great walk-in pantry. They've upgraded in here, and we actually have a countertop with the butcher block. It's definitely got a nice little spot for this is a wine fridge or whatever, but lots of storage going up. I love that you can put your appliances, maybe your KitchenAid mixer in here, toaster. You can this can kind of be like a butler's pantry. You can put your appliances in here, but it goes all the way back behind the stairs. So there's lots of space in here for all those canned goods, all the things that you need to put in your pantry.
I just like kind of all the warm tones here in this build. Speaking of warm, what do we got going here?
We don't want to forget the microwave drawer, which is a new thing. A lot of people are.
Everybody's trying to forget the microwaves, like they're trying to do away with them.
Hide those away, which you could put that in your butler's pantry if you didn't have room for it in your cabinet here. But I think it's a great way you can save space on your countertops, or even above if you want to do the nice pretty vent hood, you don't have to take up your upper cabinet space.
Additionally, we do have some large upper cabinets here, which is making up for maybe a little less cabinet space than you would normally. But I like these oversized doors. This, you know, I'm imagining you got options. You can set up your coffee on or whatever on either side. Of course, these beautiful exterior doors, we didn't talk about these earlier, but these 6 glass panel doors look really nice as well. And we didn't say anything about this.
Yeah, we've got a coat closet here. You can put your vacuums in there, whatever you need to put in there.
Which I think this breaks up, you know, the dividing point. Even though it would work without it, this breaks it up for your dining.
Yeah, you could put a dining table in this area if you want.
So, giving you, you know, a chance to decorate a little over here. I think I'd like it equally without it as with it. I mean, looks fine either way. As we go to this side, we're going to move on down to the master suite.
Okay, so this is kind of like the connecting piece to this wing. So,
like, there's not a lot of hall space, but what we do have has value. Let's put it that way. But nobody likes a dark hall, so we do have the windows here. Now we're going to show you guys. There's an office. We'll show you guys that here in a bit. But that's got some sliding doors for pocket doors. But let's go in here into the master suite.
All right. Yeah, this is a great size master bedroom. I love the ceiling in here. It's got the tray ceiling.
Very large master suite with the higher ceiling, that extra 16-inch, you know, build up with the tray.
Well, I think it's really cool because this is kind of its separate, almost like building, almost to where you can have these really high ceilings, because the center of the home is the 2-story part. It's got the upstairs, and then the shop part is a 1-story as well. So I like that it kind of gives the dimension to the house. Speaking
of it being its own area, we do have its own separate air control, which here, and I can point to this, this has actually attached to a 2-stage unit for our HVAC, which 2-stage already does a little bit better for dehumidifying. But on this unit, we have a dehumidifier, the April Air dehumidifier, which is attached for this side of the house, which is constantly working to remove any humidity. So it's one of the things that our client was focused on, at least for being able to zone this area out, which is always a nice option. This, it's a little bit different for the setup because our closets are not attached necessarily to the bathroom.
Right.
So you have separate closets,
yeah, we
his
have
and hers. So in his, there is plenty of shoe storage. There's also this V-line, I think it's a gun closet safe, which is an in-wall storage container for your guns and things like that. And then we also have some plugs in here, as well as our standard shelf with hanging storage for all the clothes and all that. So keeping with that, we have the natural light in all of these rooms. So there's not anything that's really, doesn't seem really closed off, but one closet. We do have one closet, which I think is hers, that was really just focused on using as much space as possible for the size.
Yeah, they've got pocket doors, so of course that we don't have the doors protruding into the rooms, so they're kind of hidden. But yeah, this is a great size. This is her closet, I would assume. But they've got like a nice big area, so lots of storage for shoes, purses, all the things. Plenty of hanging storage. And then there's enough room in here. You could put a dresser.
Yeah, you have your dress hanging, you have as well as your upper and lower. But moving on from this place, let's go check out the master bathroom.
So the master bathroom's got the hidden pocket doors again. There's 2, it's a double one. So you open and they meet in the middle. So it's a large opening to get into this room. It's got double vanities. We got a his and hers on the vanities as well.
Yeah, and I kind of like how we were able to incorporate our outlets for our plugs, so that even though you're on this side, because we have the big mirrors, we still have the plugs.
Right, they put it in the cabinet instead of in the wall where it's eating into the mirror and you're having to kind of frame around that. So that's helpful.
You know, plenty of power where you need it. So in the master bathroom here, I just like the spacing, because it's not like a big, you know, open area as far as just being a big room, but it's really spaced really well. Like you have your toilet on this side, your shower on that side, which centered in that is this beautiful, you know, bathtub, which is a freestanding tub, but it has the surrounding tile which matches that we use in the shower space.
Yeah, it's got a pretty little chandelier type thing over it, and I love the handle. It's kind of like an old school.
That's always a nice
wand.
touch, you know, whenever you can have something a little fancy or
Decorative, yeah.
yeah. You gotta be fancy somewhere.
Yeah.
But this is always a nice look, I think, to any master bathroom. But here in our cabinets, we have some more quartz on top of these cabinets, which is our standard finish that we're doing here on this build.
And this one has like a little stool area where you can put in a chair or a little bar stool for you to sit in and maybe do your makeup or whatever. It's got a lower level to where you can kind of reach everything.
And we have the good old faithful large mirrors here, which are framed mirrors. You see all this, and then you have this nice little accent with the faucet, which is just right for this space. So moving on to the other side, it's kind of like I said, his and hers. You have, hers has the vanity space. His has
all the dirty laundry.
His has got the laundry chute with upper cabinet storage over here, giving you really a lot of options. And then we have the shower.
So they did a really cool obscured door here for the shower glass door, and so you can't see inside. Give you some privacy in there. But it's a large shower, and of course it's got the same tile in the shower on the walls as it does on the backsplash around the tub.
Yeah, and here we have the soap box as well with that octagon shaped floor pattern.
Yeah, I like the tile on the floors. It's a hexagon pattern. It's got the grays in it, and of course the whites and a little bit of the browns or the neutral color that matches the cabinets.
Also, we have the built-in bench on this build. Now, sometimes this doesn't seem like, you know, you have to build one in there with the tile and all that, because there are some pretty nice, furniture pieces you can almost buy for the benches that go in the shower, which I think is a nice touch sometimes too. But here, this looks really nice, and the size of the shower really lends to giving you that kind of space to be able to do so.
All right, so back down this hall towards the living room, we're gonna stop in here and show you guys this beautiful office. Got these
double pocket doors.
Double pocket doors. Of course, we got the same kind of cabinets in here with the white oak with just the clear stain on it. Tons of storage for books and all the things, but I think
adjustable shelving that we have, at least on the lower area. You do have a fixed shelf there on the top, which this gives you the chance to be able to add shelving if you want. A nice just stained top as well.
Yeah, I think you could put like a desk here in front so you can kind of work, you know, on the desk in front and then kind of spin around if you've got something, maybe your computer on this side.
Or if you didn't do that and you wanted to set up your space here, you got plenty of room to, you know, let's set up a treadmill or something like that in here if you want. And we've got plugs on the wall up here already for TVs and all that sort of stuff.
And you can still see the pond.
Yeah, lots of upgrades with the can lighting throughout. There's a lot of options on your lighting. So this is really nice. I'd love to have an office like this off my master bedroom. That's pretty cool.
So on this wing of the house, we've got lots of spaces to show you. We're gonna skip going up the stairs for now. We'll come back to that in a few, but we've got our guest bathroom here.
And we do have lit hallway. Again, those are the details that really matter, I think, keeping you connected to the outside. But here is our guest bathroom, which is mainly for company that might be here during the day. A lot more cabinet storage, as well as this just set up. A lot of cabinets in here with our similar finishes that we used everywhere else. And then here we have the walk-in shower with a bench, as well as a soap box. Some of that kind of concrete looking tile that we're using throughout. And same with the hexagon pattern flooring, which is matching, and our oil rub bronze on all of this for the bathroom faucets. So pretty simple, but I think very tastefully done. And then off of here, we have
the utility room, the laundry room. So we've got this enclosed cabinet here for the extra refrigerator that they have for maybe drinks, extra storage, things like that. We've also got an upper cabinet here with lots of extra space. So the thing I really like best about this laundry room is that they have a built-in cabinet for the front load washer and dryer. They also have the storage drawers underneath for your detergents and things like that. Again, more storage here. We've got a silver pearl granite. It's a black granite. It's real pretty. And they've got a laundry sink. So, of course, we still have a window that adds that natural lighting. And, of course, the bronze faucet here. So there's lots of space in this room, and I really like the way that this turned out.
And moving into the shop, which, is a nice little shop we got going here. And you're seeing some of our regular, I think, setup here, but insulated shop. Here we do have the plywood, which our client chose to do on the first 8 foot up, giving them plenty of buildable, they can build shelving.
You can hang things. You can hang, if you wanted to decorate it, you could hang some cool signs in here. You can hang shelves in here, your tools.
Also, we have the insulated overhead doors that we're using. Now, these are commercial style doors that we use, and these are the high lift, so they also are sloped with the roof, so it goes up with that space, giving you all of this accessibility here, to set it up however you'd like to. Now, you could almost have built 2 stories over this spot, but this is always something they could do later if they wanted to add on or to add additional storage space. Now, one thing we do want to show you guys that we did on this build, we won't be going into great details about it, but it's something you can do some research on your own. Our client is looking to potentially be doing like solar here in the future. And so this was an option that they went with to use the SPAN smart panel, which kind of was our first time working with it, but from what I understand, it gives you mobile access to your panel, which it'll give you all kinds of cool things, be able to gain information if you have a surge in power or something's being overused. You'll get that type of accessibility that will go straight to your mobile phone, and you'll be able as well to control depending on which breakers and those kind of things that you use. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, to know if a breaker's tripped and which one it is.
Right, that we were able to integrate. Now, you can know that most of all your wiring and all that is the same. Of course, you can add additional things to that, but that's something that we've got built in here, as well as we've got some water filtration going here, and this Proterra Ream water heater that we're using, which we're keeping this in the shop where we have an insulated environment. Now, again, all of our shops are built down lower, where keeping water heaters in here is less concern for there being an event that might happen in the house. So always excited about setting them up this way when we can. Now, another thing in this, you can look up and you're seeing some of the raw construction here, because this is what it takes to put the steel together that gives us that shape.
To connect the pieces.
Where we're creating the valleys and all of that, but you're seeing our steel construction. So, when we framed this up, this was quite a view of steel that we put together here before we started putting all of our wood framing and all of that. So it was very, very cool. But it does take a little bit more on the fabrication side to be able to put in all the valleys and all that to tie all that stuff together. It's a little more complex, but we're a little more seasoned in that, so we're able to do these types of structures with no fault. So that's always an advantage. But we want to take you guys now to the upstairs and show you some of the, secondary bedrooms and some of the additional bonus options that we have up there. So this is our extra living space upstairs. Now, one thing I want to say about the flooring and the stairs that we were able to find on this particular build was nose pieces that match for the stairs coming up. You know, these nose pieces that are laid out on the top of the stairs are sometimes can be a little tricky. You know, you either have to do carpet or you have to do
a stain and try to match your flooring.
Yeah, some type of special trim and all of that. But being able to find a matching, you know, nose piece like that is really cool.
It's kind of the same for tile too, because you're either going to have to do a bull nose piece on the tile, or you're going to have to do some kind of a Schluter or something. So this is basically what.
Yeah, and it matched perfect with all of our vinyl plank flooring. And as you can see, this is our.
It's a nice size family room.
Look at all the space. So you got kind of this area you could set up maybe cards, tables,
a little reading area,
something like that. And then you got all this space where you could set up for another living room, or just game tables or arcade style stuff, whatever you want to imagine.
Yeah, you can do all kinds.
You could do it up here, office, you know, who knows what.
Lots of windows, lots of natural lighting.
So the spacing here is we have stairs come up from this side. We have the lookout here, which we'll show you guys before we leave from up here, but we have a beautiful deck that we want to show y'all. But here we have a common bathroom, not because it's just common, but because it's a common area for both rooms, with another large walk-in shower, which is probably equally as large as the downstairs shower in the master. But all of the same finishes that we're using throughout, that concrete finish style tile with the bench. And then we have the dual sink vanities with the rectangle sinks, undermount with the oil road bronze faucets, and this quartz countertop, the big mirror, which is always a nice touch. And then the inset here where we have the toilet as well as the upper cabinets on this. Again, guys, we have more natural light windows coming in here. It's all about the windows on this build. A lot of windows. So we're gonna go and show you one of the bedrooms.
Yeah, we've got.
This is kind of interesting the way it's kind of shaped, because you know, you don't just have two doors, you have a little hallway.
Yeah, they have two guest bedrooms up here. These are both nice sized rooms. I really like the little windows that they have. I'm sure they did that to help with the outside,
the aesthetics of the exterior.
But I like them because you can put furniture under them.
Yeah, it's really nice, and giving you a lot of view as well.
This has got a double closet. These double doors in here makes for a big closet. Nice storage.
And we have the continuous vinyl plank flooring all up in this space. Now, our clients didn't put ceiling fans, but we do have them wired for that.
So they can add those later.
We're keeping the same paint colors throughout. And then we have additional attic space up here, access. But another bedroom here. Again, similar size bedroom. This also looks out over the back, showing a beautiful, just picturesque, I guess what you call it, pond. And we have this
pretty much the same closet as in the other bedroom.
Dress storage and lower and upper hanging storage with center cubby shelves.
5 rooms.
That's kind of our typical setup there. So let's go. I want to show you guys this deck.
This is the bonus piece. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, and I think if I build a 2-story for myself, I'd like.
You want to do one of those?
I'd like to have one of these.
Me too.
Yeah, I really like this setup. And whoever built this house really did a good job on this.
They did.
Deck.
They did a great job
out here. No, this has got. I think this is kind of one of our more prouder. I think just designs when it comes to this setup. Now, our client was pretty specific about what they wanted. which is always what's pushing the engine, right? But one of the things that I think made it a little more challenging is we had the continuous stone coming up from the bottom, but I just like the simplistic feel of this. So what we ended up doing is we framed all of this out of our steel, purlins, which we have reinforced with some additional steel I-beams, giving us plenty of support up here.
Yeah, it feels very solid, like it doesn't
and so
creak or anything.
We had to build it in a way where we could continue our stone all the way up because we didn't want to have any flashing problems or any kind of water concerns. So that was a process in itself. We just built a frame and then let the stone come up through it. And then we were able to basically over our purlins, we installed the R panel style PBR panels down over those purlins, and we built this on a slight slope, allowing for any drainage and stuff of that nature to basically run off. And then our Trex went on top of that. But it's a beautiful setup. Also on that layer of metal, we designed a guttering system on the exterior, which we ended up taking all the way around the perimeter, which we were able to create drainage holes, allowing for any water that comes through this to go underneath. And then below that we have the covered soffits, which is a dual protection basically from any water that could come under.
I really like this Trex system though, because it's not gonna fade. It's not gonna
pre-finished.
Yeah, like it's a different kind of product. It's not like a normal deck that you would do that you're gonna have to replace boards here and there. I think it's supposed to.
Now, because we were screwing into the metal deck, we did not use their kind of closed system when it comes to their clamps and things of that nature, but we opted to do more screws. So we ended up making it, fasten better. But it turned out really beautiful, and we were able to flash this all off here. And on the railing, you can see we have just our kind of standard tubing that we used. And this is a continuous post that goes all the way down to the bottom. And this is all tied to our main structural beams, really fortifying this with the rest of the house. And that's one of the things that I always try to explain to people when it comes to these steel structures, when it comes to the strength. When you're putting a porch or adding these kind of things to your house, you're adding additional like shear strength.
Bracing even.
Yeah, bracing to your house, which is not only do you have enough with all of the lumber and the wood and the sheathing and here we have the stone, but you also have all of this extra steel, which is fortifying this build, which I feel like makes a really, really strong structure for our clients. So.
But can we talk about this view?
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I love all the trees. There's there's a heavy wooded area, and then just the beautiful pond. It's got a different color to it too. It's almost like a teal color.
Yeah, so the pond is a spring-fed pond, and it's really mesmerizing when you go out and you gain visual, because you can literally see to the bottom of this pond. So it's one of the more beautiful ponds that I've ever seen. But it's landscaped with all this beautiful trees and the setting of these bald cypress, as well as some of the natural cedars that are out here, but just a lot of beautiful landscape that surrounds it. And I think this is the reason why they wanted to position it where they did, because of the view and everything about this build and the enjoyment of it. So it's a beautiful setup.
And that's why they wanted so many windows.
That's right, yeah. For all that connectivity. Now also, I think the look that they were going for was sort of that old world feel, to add all the stone, on the outside. And, I I don't know if it fully achieves old world, but it definitely is capitalizing new world, because it's a beautiful, beautiful home. So we hope you guys have been able to gain some insight from following along on this build and seeing the finishes that our clients used here. You know, it just shows you some of the potential and the abilities of what you can do with a Barndominium. You know, and somebody said, well, why build it like that? Why don't you build conventional and blah, 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 and all this stuff? Well, you know, it gives us a lot of space when it comes to not having to have trusses and all of these other things that you have to have with wood truss construction.
And there's not another house like this. There's not another one next door that looks just like it. This is a custom home, so
it's unique in style as well as the ability and performance, because of all of the efficiencies and zoning and all the things. So we're so happy for our clients. It's been great bringing you guys along. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. Go to our website. We have merch and hats and shirts and all those kind of things. But we appreciate you following along. I'm Josh Helm.
And I'm Brandy Helm.
We're wishing you all the best. And thanks for watching Texas Best.